this war is ours.
Yes, I will see you through the smoking flames on the front.
As time has passed from one age to the next, from the era of horses and swords to artillery and tanks, from the time of Samson and Delilah to George Patton and Douglas MacArthur, men have always been viewed as the expendable gender. It's also no surprise to learn that societies from the ancient empires and kingdoms of Babylon, Samaria, and Egypt to the UK and the United States, men have always been viewed as nothing more than expendable tools for frivolous wars to die in. This can be seen throughout history and even extends into the modern era for the West. Men have been viewed as nothing more than a commodity and nothing really of importance. Oh sure, there are instances of men achieving fame and status like that of the legendary Nikola Tesla, but when push came to shove, Tesla was treated as an outcast in his later years, and eventually left to die alone and broke. These are trying times for men, and society has never once cared or gone out of its way for men. Now the purpose of this isn't to plea for sympathy or anything, it's merely a realization that I and many other men going their own way have come to the conclusion of. When the red pill has been consumed and has been allowed to settle in, the malaise phase can come. This is after the red pill rage has come and gone. Society has always treated us men as though we were inferior, in spite of the fact that 90% of all inventions, revolutions, and all other forms of agriculture, irrigation, media, entertainment, technology, and culture, women have contributed some, but only a meager amount. Only a select few of women have actually contributed anything of significance. Women like Madame Curie, Joan of Arc, Patsy Sherman, and Esther Vilar. Yet as much as feminists wish to decry, there has never been any true oppression of women. Fabricated oppression was merely a ploy to try to get political power at the expense of men's rights. No need to continue with that. As civilization progressed, it's always been quid pro quo, the business as usual tit-for-tat exchange that has been used against his will. Men provides contribution in whatever form of craft he has excelled in, and society rewards him by sending him off to war or working him on the streets until he drops dead like a sack of potatoes, or in even worse instances, strong-arms him at gunpoint into a miserable sexless marriage only to be discarded at a later time and left to rot in a gutter until he has either killed himself or until by some miracle he pulls himself out of the ashes and starts over. We see this all the time. The expendable male is an asset, an expendable asset, something that no one ever cares about or no one ever thinks twice of because it's all a part of the plan. Like when Joker talks to Two-Face in the movie The Dark Knight. Tell everyone that a car full of soldiers will be blown up or a battalion of Marines will be heading in a certain death into a battlefield. No one bats an eye. Tell everyone that a car of a couple of stupid teenagers or wasted or some batshit nuts feminist will be running headlong into carnage. Well, everyone loses their minds. When things go according to plan, i.e. you, the man that is being used as an expendable asset, no one cares. It's all part of quid pro quo. And no, I'm not talking about the current scandal in DC involving the presidency. This has nothing to do with that, in any fashion. If you want to explore or debate politics outside of MGTOW, go do it somewhere else. This isn't the place. This is the part where you need to listen to what I say. These are the realities that we as men must learn to accept from here on and going forward. Men, you do not matter in this society. It's poison to our souls and they couldn't give a fuck if we live or die. The only way to prove yourself in this society is if you perform well like a wind-up doll. When a woman judges you, she will never judge you according to your charm, good looks, or personality. A woman can tell within the first 30 seconds how and where she will benefit from you. Don't waste your time trying to shoot up any pickup lines or cold approach. She can see through that shit right away, and she'll know all you want to do is fuck. If she sizes you up and deems you to be beta male material, she will know exactly which levers to push and how to make you tick. All it takes is the proper know-how on her part. Second, if society truly did care for us as men, then they would build shelters designed to protect men from domestic violence at the hands of women. Men are the vast majority of all workplace deaths, suicides, homicides, casualties of war, divorces, and last but not least, unfair prison sentences. If they did care about us, they would be protesting on the streets for equality in the family court. They would be demanding more action for men that are victims of prison rape. Society would be going out of its way to reassure male victims of the family courts that everything would be alright. And they sure as hell wouldn't be quick to shame us into capitulation when it comes to the train wreck that is marriage. They would listen to our message. They would take our words to heart and they would begin the process of restoring male authority and to get men's rights back where they properly belong. Times are tough and men need to prepare ourselves accordingly. Also, last and I think most importantly, it's time to reflect and admit to ourselves that even though things are grim on the societal front, this is perhaps the best time ever for single men and MGTOW/red pill minded men. We are in a precariously perched position in history where we have had the opportunity to evaluate ourselves from a male to male perspective, completely devoid of all female thought and input. We have been given the golden opportunity to rid ourselves from the validation from women. And it shows how quick the mainstream is to censor our message. We understand that not having a family or not getting married isn't the be all end all of manhood. Hold strong, brothers. others, all is not lost. It may be for women, but not for us. We can create communities and thrive. We are already doing that. MGTOW has come at probably the best time ever. I believe that MGTOW men have always been there, but they've been hidden in the shadows and needed to camouflage themselves out of fear of persecution. With the advent of the computer and mass communication, we can reach men on a global scale and help save off the hordes of chaotic, divorce-prone rabid feminazis and their counterparts of the traditional conservative persuasion. The time for pleasing women is long past. The time for going our own way is now. Don't bother trying to reason or explain away the cucks and manginas. They simply won't get it. Red pill men on a one-on-one basis, and don't do it out in the open, lest you be attacked by some thirsty white knights hoping to score with some random bimbo. Just take the red pill and keep your senses sharp. Anyway, that's all I have. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Donate to my Patreon for more content. Videos like these are made possible because of donations and contributions from viewers like you. If you wish to contact me on my email, links will be inside the description below, and thank you.